Welcome to the Thought Decoders channel. Today we're going to take a look at some questions in the Christian Apologetics Forum. We're going to try to see if we can provide some type of answer and interact with these objections or implicit objections to the truth of Christianity. I'm Sean Mixon. I'm the Thought Decoder. Uh, The unexamined life is not worth living. Here we think clearly, I teach logic, and I show you how to use it. Today we're going to go into how to use logic to understand claims and to assess claims. Okay, so right here we have a question by Bob Reed. How do you respond? You're only Christian because you live in America and you were brainwashed to Christianity. If you were born in Afghanistan, you would be a brainwashed Muslim, or lack thereof. Okay, so what's the response? First, what's the claim here? You're only Christian because you live in America and you were brainwashed to Christianity. That seems like two different claims. 3, if you were born in Afghanistan, you would be a brainwashed Muslim. Okay, so a couple of claims. 1, you're a Christian because you live in America. 2, you brainwashed to Christianity. 3, if you were born in Afghanistan, you will be a brainwashed Muslim. So I do my best work when I'm typing. So we have first we have you're Christian because you live in America. So this if in America. Okay. So let's look at this assumption here. I'm gonna call it, I said 1, I just delete that 1. So the assumption is if you live in America, then you're Christian. That's false. How do we know that's false? There are obviously Muslims in America just as there are Christians. So it doesn't, living in America doesn't imply what religion you have. Just because you live in a place doesn't mean that you're going to have a particular religion in and of itself, right? So that's not why you're Christian because you live in America. I mean, you could have been born and you could be a Muslim, or you can convert from Christianity to Islam, like some people do, or you can convert from Islam to Christianity, or from atheism to theism. So it's just false to say that you're a Christian because you live in America. Secondly, how would you know why a person was a Christian? How would an objector know why you were a Christian? the cause of your Christianity, and it has nothing to do with truth. All right, so that's the first claim. Let's see what the second claim is. So, uh, that's the first claim. So this is kind of like a sticky, a weird kind of. It's not an objection to Christianity. It's actually an objection to a person being a Christian. Uh, and it's not an objection to the truth. It's an objection to, it's almost to say that the implication is that you're not a Christian because of a rational choice. It's not a choice. You're not a Christian by choice. So I guess that's the real claim. You're a Christian because you didn't choose to be born into this certain environment or location, and you also didn't choose to be born into uh, the country or the continent or the family, and that family happened to have a religion, and you happen to share that religion, right? So let's take a look at that. So if we really analyze this claim, we can see that the essential claim is that the essence of the objection is that for you, being a Christian was not a rational choice because your Christianity is explained by the country you live in, which you don't choose, and the family you live in, you're a part of, which you don't choose as well. So that's it. So it's almost like a undercutting defeater, where they're trying to defeat your evidence for being a Christian by saying that the fact that you're a Christian is explained not by the evidence for Christianity's truth, but by your upbringing in a particular family, in a particular country. Uh, so, but a problem with this is that you don't know why. You don't know why. Uh, you don't know why a person is a Christian or believe what they believe. You can't tell a person why they believe what they believe. There are Christians in Afghanistan. They're probably killed. If they are, they're probably hiding. But there are Christians in Saudi Arabia, right? There are Muslims in America. So again, this is irrelevant. It's a red herring to the truth of Christianity, right? So you don't have to deal with the evidence if you try to distract and say and tell a person where their uh, uh, faith originated. But here's an even worse problem. It's consistent with the truth of Christianity. Let's say you are a Christian because you live in America. Let's say that's the reason you're a Christian. That has nothing to do with whether or not Christianity is true. Christianity can be true, and it be true that you're a Christian because you live in America. That does not engage with any of the claims of Christianity, with the historical evidence for Christ's crucifixion, his resurrection, his appearances to disciples, the origin of their faith. It does not interact at all with Christianity. So it's really just a red herring. There's no argument here. There's just a claim and an assertion. But brainwashed. So the second claim is that you're brainwashed. Now, here's another assumption of the brainwash. Again, so the assumption is that if you're brainwashed to do anything, then what you're doing is not the result of a rational consideration of facts. Or evidence. Okay? So if you're brainwashed to do anything, your brain, basically your mind has been attacked, forced to go against what is already rational and logical. So we could say there's a second assumption, and that assumption is Christianity is irrational. Right? You cannot be brainwashed to believe something that is true. Brainwashed has a connotation that is primarily negative. If you are brainwashed, then that means the normal patterns of thought have been interrupted by some outside influencers. And these influencers have interrupted and have begun to create patterns of thought in your mind. So that, and it's brainwashed because the knowledge that you had previously has been erased. The slate has been wiped clean. So that's what it means to be brainwashed. Uh, to have a blank slate, to not have any thoughts of your own or considerations of rational facts and considerations of your own. So this claim in and of itself is to say, ultimately, goes back to that there's not a rational choice for you to be a Christian. Okay? So it's not a rational choice. Brainwashing and cultists and cults, leaders, they typically use authority. They get their followers to believe that they're special in some sense, that they should be followed, and that they're better than other people. And that they can't be questioned, that they have authority. And sometimes that authority is considered to be given by God or from some supreme source. And these followers, these cult leaders often use emotions and experience to support their claim and their manipulation to control their followers. When they use this emotion conjoined with authority and a unique person, and the cult leader establishes that they are a unique person and very special, that when they are able to establish those things in the minds of their followers become brainwashed, because now what their followers used to believe, the leaders can tell their followers the opposite, and they believe their leaders, so that the rational, what they believed on the basis of education, experience, and learning and knowledge, now those beliefs are interrupted because they believe this person has authority, that this person is special, and this person provides them with certain experiences, or this person, this cult leader, is often involved in those experiences that confirm that something special is going on with those followers. So the essence of this claim is that it's an objection to the rationality of Christianity, which so basically it's denying that there is such a thing as apologetics, because surely apologetics is not about emotion. Apologetics is not about, telling somebody close your eyes and begin to worship God to get this great experience so you'll believe. Apologetics is about using the tools of science, of history, of academia, using argumentation, using evidence, using reasoning, a rational approach to the defense of Christianity's truth claims. So this objection, if a person says, you're only a Christian because you live in America, you're brainwashed. That objection is to deny the very existence of Christian apologetics. So what we can do in this case is to ask the objector, hey, you may be right. Let's assume you're right, that I am a Christian because I live in America. That in no way affects Christianity, the truth of Christianity. It's irrelevant. So Christianity can be true. It is true. I'm a Christian. And I may be a Christian because I live in America, or I may be a Christian for other reasons. But the question isn't, why am I a Christian? Why am I a Christian? The question is Christianity true? Because if it's true, and there's good evidence for Christianity, and you're not a Christian, then you are irrational for not being a Christian. You're irrational for not being a Christian. So I'm not the one that's brainwashed. If you deny the evidence, then guess what? You are operating on the basis of emotion, and you are the one that is brainwashed. Perhaps you're brainwashed by the new atheism that looks at religion as being a toxic force, something that creates harm and does not increase human flourishing. So maybe that's your cult that you are brainwashed to be a part of. So if we want to move past simply calling each other names, I suggest we take a look at the evidence, take a look at the arguments, and let's have a discussion on the basis of the merits of the cases in the case of apologetics. So in conclusion, this objection denies apologetics. The arguments and evidences for the truth of Christianity. It's a distraction. For the evangelists and apologists. What we must do is point this out and get into the evidence. So, glad you guys stayed and watched the video. Look at them arms. Look at those muscles. Glad you can be here. Change this exposure. Glad you guys can be here, and have a nice day. Check out some other videos.